received a copy of our agenda, including our consent agenda. I would ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Motion approved. Motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes the minutes from the August 19th meeting, minutes from the September 10th meeting and the work session, and the financial statements for August 2024.
I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Motion passed. There are no public hearings scheduled. And citizens' comments and petitions. First, the Newmarket Fire and Rescue Department representative. Mr. Longo.
Yes. Good evening. How are you all this evening?
Good evening.
I got your cheat sheet, Jeff.
Okay.
He needs a clicker.
You want the clicker?
I don't think I need my glasses for this. This is our third quarter report, September 19th. Call volume for the month was 132 total calls, 88 EMS, 0 no patient, 6 public service, 2 structure fires, 4 vehicle and 0 outside, 12 motor vehicle accidents, and 16 others. There were 72 in-town calls, 16 in Rockingham County, and 0 in Page. Duty nights, still going on strong. Again, every Friday night from around 6 to 12. The training nights are being every Thursday night, usually from 6 to 10. Still averaging around 7 members to cross-staff the equipment and the transport unit. We have our monthly meeting. We attended the chiefs and captains meeting. We're continuing with bingo once a month. The duty hours for the month were 285 and the training hours were 102. The fundraising hours were 100. Going back to July, on July 5th, we attended the Independence Day celebration in the park. On July 20th, we hosted our monthly bingo fundraiser. On July 24th, we attended an equipment spec meeting with the county on the rescue engine spec, and basically that's the engines that carry the extrication equipment. We have one member who sits on that committee, and what that is basically they updated the specs so that the rescue engines across the county were all the same. So regardless of whether it's, we do not have one in Newmarket, but regardless of where one is coming from, all the equipment and everything is standard on it. On July 26th, we officially put our Wagon 23 in service, which was our 92 C grade that we purchased.
I messed that up, Jack.
Oh. There we go. For August, we goes through our duty nights there that we did on the Thursdays and the Fridays down through there. You can see the current members that showed up and what we staffed and cross-staffed. And again, August and September, again, goes down. We did our monthly bingo fundraiser, which is still going well. On the 27th, we sent 5 members down. What the county's doing now is during Fair Week to help relieve some of the issues from Woodstock having to bear everything throughout the week. Each one of the companies kind of steps up and helps out with the different events that go on. On the 27th, we did the demolition derby, I believe it was. And each night that there is an event like that, there's a chance of fire or injury. Each one of the companies takes a turn in standing by. Again, just goes down through there on September 5th. Again, our duty nights through the 13th. These are just some of the events that went on. I do believe this is pictures of the possible structure fire that we had up off of Flicks Lane there in the subdivision. These are the one there I do believe is National Night Out with the one on the right and one on the left is the standby at the fair. These are some training opportunities that we took advantage of at Stonewall with Mount Jackson. You may or may not go down and stand by at some of the home football games, and basically what this is, once a year, the head trainer for Stonewall Jackson gets both of us together. We go down and he goes over basically a review of how to remove the helmet, how to treat some of the injuries, how they're gonna treat some of the injuries maybe prior to our arrival or while we're there. And it's basically a review, and then also if any new stuff has come up, if any changes to their gear, to their helmets, anything like that, that make us aware so we know what to expect when we may come there for an injury. A good turnout by both us and Mount Jackson, and I cannot remember the trainer's name down there, but he does a really good job with the class.
Carol,
What is it?
Carol,
Carol, that's it, Carol. Yes, he does a good job. These are just some more pictures of field fire that we had up in Mountain Valley. I do believe this is, middle was 4th of July. The picture to the far right, kind of the upper right there, there's a rodeo that a farm puts on in Strasburg every year, and they ask for volunteers to come down to staff an ambulance each day of the rodeo. Without the staffing of the ambulances, the guy wouldn't be able to put the rodeo on. So we were able to provide one day of staffing one of the ambulances down there so the rodeo could be put on. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
And, we didn't put this together. Amber did, we sent her the information in our PowerPoint. She juiced it up, made it look really nice, so we're gonna use this from now on. So again, thanks Amber for your
You're
help.
welcome.
Thank you, Chief.
I was wondering who put this together. Looks good.
We have no committee reports. Next is staff reports. First one is Mr. Bailey, Public Works.
Evening.
For distribution systems, 214 East Old Crossroads repaired a 2-inch water main. For collection system, sewer lateral block with roots at 9589 Cadet Road. Additional projects set up for movie night in the park. We're working slowly to get everything moved into our new maintenance building. Regular monthly maintenance, cleaning of the park restrooms and shelters, street and sidewalk maintenance, and mowing of parks and properties. For the water department, rebuilt chlorine gas feed system at well number 1. Preparing SCADA for upcoming upgrade to the system at Campbell Pump Station. Assisted with insertion valve install at Stylewall Pump Station. Replaced the chlorine feed pump for the big pool. Lead and copper testing has been completed for the year and submitted to the health department. Working on data entry for service line inventory. Replaced the ORP pump at well 1. Installed and programmed new PLC at the water tank. Any questions?
Street sweeper is still, we're not doing a good job.
We're gonna try to get the street swept next week before fall festival, so.
Has the building got all its occupancy permits now?
Yes, sir.
So,
We're good to go.
all right, great.
Looking forward to seeing it. Thank you so much.
So we have when's the ribbon cutting for that?
September 24th at 2 p.m.
Actually, I probably just took some famous thunder, but, I always do that by accident.
You do. Next up, Mr. Garrison with Planning Department.
Thank you. I do have a few permits that I can share with you all that we received and approved since the last regular council meeting. We had a food truck that's gonna be at John Henry's every now and then. There was a sign permit at 9396 South Congress Street. Another food truck, temporary use permit for a food truck that's gonna be at 160 West Old Cross Road in the shopping center there. And then another sign permit for that same food truck, actually. Also, just so you all are aware, the subdivision village at Smith Creek, the bond bonding has been complete for that project, and so, the developer should be starting to move dirt soon and getting that ready, for buildable lots. So we are excited for that project to, hit the ground here soon. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Next up, public safety, Chief Meeker.
Good evening.
Good evening.
For the month of August, there's 366 calls for service for the month. 2,614 total calls for service for the year. 157 extra patrols, 8 full patrols. A few notable events. August 9th, Sergeant Smoon Officer Collins attended training hosted by the Shannon County Commonwealth Attorney's Office, and then Officer Foss and Officer Toman attended the same training the following week, August 16th. August 22nd, Benelli got to meet with members and employees of Shempeco, and Mount Jackson. For the month of August, the disturbances in domestics were above average. Just summer months. There was one felony arrest, 4 misdemeanor arrest, 5 summonses, 9 warnings, and no ECOs and TDs. And some are talking about, Savannah, I'm really struggling with these S's. Savannah talking about National Night Out, last month. It was a huge turnout for us. Houston and Savannah did a great job organizing it. Probably one of the largest turnouts we've had. Questions?
Are you using the electric bikes now? I mean, is there a vacation for that now?
We have, but we haven't done it near as much as I was hoping we were. So just hasn't worked out, but it's on the radar, no pun intended, to get the guys out there.
Thank you, Chief. Next up, Ms. Frazier for prevention working.
We had a ribbon cutting at the new Old Valley Pike Barbershop. That was greatly attended by the community. Thank you to everyone who came, and has supported them in their first 2 weeks of business. We had the puppy pool party, which was a splash in good time for sure. We had about 25 dogs in attendance, and we were able to donate $61, as well as some various pet supplies to the Shenandoah County Animal Shelter. We had movie night this past Saturday. It was a great turnout. We had about 85 in attendance, and we only have 1 more left for the season. What's coming up, as Nathan mentioned, we have the ribbon cutting for the new Public Works Department building. That's coming up on September 24th at 2 p.m. We invite everyone to come out and see the new building. More events that we have coming up this Friday, we have Crossroads with the 7 Vince Band. We have Fall Festival, which will be here before we know it, on September 28th. We have over 35 vendors and demonstrations and music and food and kids games and all sorts of activities that day from 9 to 4. And we have our internship event that we have partnered with JMU that's coming up on October 4th. We have our final movie in the park on October 12th. We'll be showing A Dog's Purpose. And then we will have our final Crossroads of the season on October 18th with Sons of Liberty. Any questions?
Nice job with the ribbon cutting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Frazier.
Thank you.
Next up, action items. First is discussion and consideration of ownership of the town's secondary streets. Mr. Garrison.
So this was on the agenda at our last regular council meeting in August, and I gave a brief presentation on this item, which would be the town proceeding with taking ownership of our secondary streets from VDOT. There is a process that we can solicit our state delegate to introduce legislation to the General Assembly in January, of which would then allow us to be eligible to take ownership of our streets. And we could select, primary, secondary, educational, various tiers of streets that they allow, or their subsets. So we proposed taking our secondary streets and had a workshop session last week to discuss that a little further. So what staff will be looking for tonight is for a motion, either one way or the other, if you would like to, for staff to proceed with the process. We would need a motion for you identifying that and allowing staff to proceed with the administrative process and requesting our state delegate to introduce this legislation.
Do I hear a motion that staff be allowed to proceed with this administrative process?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Smith, would you do roll call? Is there any discussion?
Okay. No discussion, so let's go, Mr. Weimer.
Yes.
Mrs. Hannah?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mr. Hughes?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
King? Motion passed.
Yes. I think I still get a vote.
Hmm?
Yes.
You still get a vote? Okay. I didn't know if you still got a vote because you were taking that spot. So I learned something today. Thank you. And with that, it passed.
And it has passed, and the next thing on the agenda is Constitution Week proclamation, which commemorates the signing of the Constitution of the United States on September 17th, 1787. I would ask Mr. Hughes if you would please read this proclamation.
So this is a proclamation establishing the week of September 17th to 23rd as Constitution Week in the town of Newmarket, Virginia. Whereas September 17th, 2024 marks the 236th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate the occasion. And whereas the Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17th through 23rd as Constitution Week. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Buffiani, by virtue of the authority vested in me as Mayor of the town of Newmarket, Virginia, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through 23rd as Constitution Week. And we ask our citizens to reaffirm the ideals the framers of the Constitution had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us as guardians of our liberties, remembering that the lost rights may never be regained. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the town of Newmarket to be affixed the 16th day of September of the year of our Lord 2024. Signed, Larry Buffiani. Thank you. I know I'm not Larry, but yeah. It's his proclamation.
Hi there, my name is Carmen Connor. I have to see some recognizable faces here, and it's a pleasure to do that. On behalf of the Daughters of the American Revolution, I would like to say a wholehearted thank you to every one of you for passing that issue and carrying forward another year with Constitution Week being observed. I'm not sure, I've learned, and I'm taking a couple minutes, sorry. The Constitution, this particular proclamation began in 1955 of the Daughters of the American Revolution, issued one on their own, and suggested to President Eisenhower that he consider doing it later and making it a national proclamation. The following year, he issued one individually. And then the third year of the program, per se, the Congress issued the law that we read and remember. So that, I thought you might like to know a little bit of the history. And I'd like to thank you doubly tonight because this is the first year since I've been in this office that every one of the towns have issued a proclamation. I'm not sure if they were not always all contacted or anything. I don't ask any questions for that, but I'm just delighted to be able to say all of you did, and thank you.
More than welcome. Next up, are there any
Oh.
council comments?
Oh, my husband's running me to do the second thing that I forgot. We have initiated, and it's a part of the National Daughters program in order to celebrate nationally and share in what we're doing, that we have a program where we all ring bells at 4:00 on 17th of September. And that's becomes, it just goes around the world. They're not all up at the same time we are ringing the bell, it just continues. Ours will be tomorrow, and it will be at 4:00. We are going to have an opening we'd like to invite anyone that would like to be there. It's at the old town courthouse in Woodstock, and the actual program will be about 3:45, so that we can make sure and introduce who we are, and that bell's very healthy, and we always recommend bring somebody strong with you if you come. But we would really like to see anyone that's able and hasn't had the time to join us.
Thank you. Next up, are there any council comments? Staff comments?
I would just like to introduce and welcome Summer to her first regular council meeting. Summer Barden is our new assistant town manager, so I encourage everyone to, in the room, to introduce yourself to her and get to know her, and we're excited to have her on board. And Summer has hit the ground running and been a big help already, so we're excited to have you here.
We have a closed session scheduled next, so we'll take a 2 or 3 minute break, and then we'll go into closed session. And thank you all for being here tonight.